Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. Now this time, as I briefly mentioned at the end of the last time, we're going to be focusing on Truly Swap Merceau. I've got no usage out of Final Augment for, so I think it's about time I actually try and get some. So for this Final Augment, we need to use Hurtily when we're at less than 25% HP, and it costs Sloth, Envy, and Pride. So I assembled a team that's got, decent stuff here. You can't tell what the team is, but, you can kind of tell. I'll actually select the team later. Actually, let's just get into the thing before I actually explain the specifics as to how I want to go about doing this, just for simplicity's sake. Yeah, so the team is going to be, something like that should work, I believe. That way we've got decent bit of Sloth, decent bit of Pride, decent bit of Envy. Best I could find. Funnily enough, there's not a single unit in the game right now that has Sloth, Pride, and Envy as their three main sin affinities. Just something to note. But yeah, so I'm going with Endcourt Merceau because on top of having a lot of HP, which means 25% won't be as, fatal as some of the other ones, he's actually got a counter, and counters are, pretty optimal for taking damage. Now, of course, there is the issue that he gains protection for using the counter, and I forgot about that until this moment, but I'm gonna pretend like that was, something I was planning for and that I'm pretty fine with anyways. But oh well, yeah, the ego itself, the actual effects, gain 3 protection, 1 surgery next turn, interesting stuff, that's for sure, but the passive is the real fun stuff. It's very similar to the Heart of Aspiration Keter Abna page from Ruina. The one that just gives you 3 turns to live, but gives you a bunch of buffs. It's really not that powerful of a benefit in this case, all things considered, because, that is the wrong thing. Yeah, 3 attack power, defense power up, and haste every turn. Which is nice, don't get me wrong. But, it doesn't, reduce stagger damage stuff, which is also a pretty crucial part as to why it was pretty usable in, I guess it wasn't why it was pretty usable. But, you gain a little bit more benefits from strength in general in Ruina. And on top of that, this is such a specific condition where you need to be, low HP. I really hope I didn't accidentally choose someone who's got a healing passive. I meant to check that and I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I did take some bleedy gifts because we've got some bleedy people on this team. Might as well, I figured. It'll work well enough. Yeah, let me check to make sure I don't have any passives that are gonna, ruin me. Oh, that's convenient. At least feels 5 HP after winning a clash. Oh well, I should not have taken that Gregor. That's fine. We can live with that, I think. We can work around it. We'll heal a little bit of HP, that's fine. Our plan is probably going to be to get Merceau low HP at some point. Really not going in for it much right now, and that's just because, I'll do it in time. I gotta make sure I get Final Augment to trigger at least once this run. That's the baseline goal. But as per usual, first floor, I'm just gonna build up resources, and I'm probably gonna do that for most the entire run. I'm gonna have far more resources than I actually use, despite that fact. But that's because sanity is really the main resource you gotta manage when it comes to the ego later on. We get an event? Ooh, this one is healing. But it's also a lot of cost, which is really nice, so we can get more, options and shops and stuff. And we'll be able to get Wound Clear to ++ for, even more bleed funnies. We love a little bit of bleed. And it's also nice how, Through This Wall is a 2-target as there's been 4. That's a nice little thing. It's not that big of a deal, all things considered, but it's nice. We'll have you counter a little bit. You are weak to blunt, you're weak to lust, so that actually should do some decent damage to you. We'll try building up this damage a little bit now. Well, it isn't a lot. And your counter is not great, especially because it does negative coin counter. It's easy to forget this, but Merceau was the first negative coin in the game. Negative coin ID in the game, I should say. There was negative coin of egos and logic force. But yeah, things like his counter. Of course, the fact that it's a negative coin usually works against him. There's very few circumstances where you're going to have this guy at low SP, I'd really assume, but I don't know. He also does have self-healing on his skill 3, doesn't he? Yeah, I didn't really think this through too well, but I mean, counterpoint, I don't really think Project Moon thought this passive out too much either. They were just like, oh, it would be funny if we had something similar to that one thing from Ruina. And I think they just went with that. And it fits the surgery idea fairly well. Although, The issue is, if you had an ego that did that, like, every time, like, if you used this ego, you have 3 turns to live, then it would probably be a pretty unpopular ego, just because, like, that is a scary trade-off. But they made the condition a little too hard to acquire. I don't know how they could do it better, though, without making it so, like, oh yeah, it's only, like, you need to actively, like, press the button or something. Like, maybe, like, make it so, like, it only if you, like, manually overclock, only then will you, trigger the passive. Although, of course, overclock didn't exist when the game launched, which was when the ego was in the game, so couldn't exactly be used quite like that. Eh. I don't know. My goal is, if nothing else, I want to get Merceau low HP. I'll probably try getting him low HP on, like, the final floor or something. I'll probably use the ego just kind of randomly against some bosses or something to get, you know, the surgery going. And surgery is cool. That's for sure. Yes. I was definitely, like, pondering whether or not I wanted to actually instead do, like, a Mirrored Under 3 hard run today. And, you know, just so I could get, you know, some lunacy beforehand. Because I do not have a lot of lunacy for the sake of the pulls today. And hopefully I will be okay. Hopefully I'll get the 2-star at least. It would be really unfortunate if I had to shard the 2-star. Wouldn't be the first time. That was the case with, I think it was 7 Heathcliff. I'm pretty sure I had to shard him when I managed to pull 7 Faust when that banner released. The unfortunate luck. I had been out of lunacy, I presume. Of course, I was never a lunacy stockpiler until the horrors of Walpurgis Night 1. And now that Walpurgis Night 2 is over, and I'm back down to having almost no lunacy, I'm gonna have to slowly build that number up again. I guess the good thing is, though, when the actual Kanto 6 comes out, that'll be, like, a big, like, buff to, like, the amount of, like, lunacy that I gain for a little bit. Because that's usually where you get so much lunacy. You gain, like, the benefits from completing the class chapter, and there's bound to be plenty of patch fixes that just give us random lunacy for whatever shenanigans Project Moon has accidentally inputted into the game. You know how it is, I'm sure. Okay, we'll take the Talisman bundle. Bleed boost is potentially scary sometimes, but only if you're ever going for, like, single-person teams. In a situation like that, giving the enemy the bleed bonus really does not matter. I'll screw this wall up this battle, yeah, just so I can show it, because it's such a funny animation, too. Like, that's another important thing about it. And also, when considering the viability of this thing, you kind of have to ignore the fact that, it takes the same slot as Regret, which is a very powerful ego. Like, look at this, and look at this 2-target, look at this. Gives a little spin. You can see you gain some surgery. I guess we can take a look at that next turn so I can show you how, like, the surgery, like, functions. I think surgery really needs to actually give, like, power up something. So yeah, now his max HP is down to 188 from 135, what is it? Because it's 20% down. But now he deals 20% more damage and gains haste 1 haste each turn. Nice effect. I do think it would benefit from being, like, +3, +5 offense level or something for surgery. I don't know if that could be balanced. Instead of just being a pure damage up, but I could also see that kind of growing out of control. And for the sake of, you know, showing the bit, I should also overclock it here, which does give 2 surgery next turn. And it's a positive overclock, which is, you know, questionable at times. We'll do it with this slot, actually, so we can actually clash with it. And it raises the stagger threshold by 30% of damage dealt. A nice effect to have, that's for sure. Unfortunately, we got tails here, so we don't get to see the funny, like, rainbow color effects and whatever. Yeah. We see a little bit of them, I guess. That's good. But yeah, so now you'll be able to 3 surgery, so he's only gonna have 40% of his HP. Oh, it's next turn, though, so yeah, he doesn't have that quite yet. But, like, the unfortunate thing about it is I'm fairly certain it cuts the max HP, but I'm fairly certain, as far as the game's concerned, he's at 100% HP right now. Now, I may be wrong in this. I do not use Screw Loop Wall up enough, but if I were to say use it now, like, if I were to get to 4 surgery and have, only 20% of his HP left. I'm pretty sure it would count as 100%, so he wouldn't be able to trigger the ego passive then. He actually needs to be damaged enough to get that. We'll throw in one more just so we can get you to 4 surgery for the bit. I don't even know if we'll be able to, because it is next turn and you're just gonna die straight up. That's fine. We love surgery. If we get like a if we get a Merso identity that's like got really good damage output, then like I could definitely see Screw Loose Wall being a threat. And it is also nice having an Envy Ego when middle team Envy teams work. It's a nice effect. But yeah, that's for the benefit from surgery. Notice he's down to below a quarter of HP now, so the next time he uses his funny ego, he will be under 25%. So he'll be able to get like the 3 turns left to live thing. Oh, I need to be very careful about that, because if I push my luck too early and, you know, lose, you know, the star of the show on like floor 2, it's gonna be a very underwhelming run. We would showcase it to its fullest power though, so you know, might as well give it a shot. And like this is Ebony Queen's Apple, which isn't too bad. Could be a funny time show. We can definitely kill you in 3 turns. Yeah, I believe in us. I'll overclock it too. Actually, let's see what they're gonna clash against. Perfect. We'll take that. Do some damage. You take down the fruit. You guys just keep on clashing. The normal stuff. Like that. Yeah, looks good. And because of Sunshine, we are also gaining a bunch of power up when we do that. Nice. I sure can feel their pain, Malku. Thank you for being normal. And not deranged in the slightest. Here we go. So we should trigger the passive now. If I'm not mistaken, and this is how it works properly. Also, we really got another Tails. That's unfortunate. I guess we were at -3 sanity, so it makes enough sense. But we've not seen the actual proper animation for the corrosion yet because of that, which is unfortunate. So final augment, it has triggered now, yes. So you can see here, gain 3 attack, power up, defense power up, and haste, die in 3 turns. That effect you do not see very frequently because you need to actually trigger the passive. But now if we went for like Annihilate Heretics, we can actually start healing up HP now if we wanted to. And then say like on next floor or something before the boss, we can build up surgery again so that we can go into like the 3rd floor boss being low HP so we can go for it immediately. You know, I think that's a decent idea. Let's actually go for the right stem though. Seems like a worthwhile idea. So we can actually hit a part that's gonna take decent. Actually, this part will take decent damage. Yeah, we'll go for the fruit. Why not? We'll have you Snag Harpoon that, just clash against these semi-randomly, and then just keep on attacking the fruit. And he's not gonna live very long. But look at that damage. That's, you know, he's got 2 surgeries, so he's got a 40% damage increase, and he's got, you know, +3 final power. Final power is at a coin power, so it's not that great. It really does deserve to be coin power. Who knows, maybe when they eventually make Dresden 5 or something, they'll change it so he gains coin power instead of the final power there, something like that, or make it so it's like a little bit of both. Because it's rivaling Regret. It really needs to rival Regret, and it does not rival Regret right now in its stupid coin power up that's going to plague Merso's design philosophy for the rest of the game. They're never going to give him a strong ID because he has Regret now. That's just basically the part of what I'm getting at here. Is that Merso is basically like doomed for life. We'll have to see though. We'll have to see. Project Moon definitely seems pretty willing to go for things that seem less than logical. That was 2 tails and he actually did a fair bit there. That's nice. And he didn't die because we managed to beat the fight in time. If we took an additional turn on top of that, would you die in one at the same point as the fight ends? You might. We might see that sooner or later. I guess we'll have to see. You'll be healed up a bit, and we're probably gonna do something like this. Yeah, okay. This fight we'll try and build up surgery so that way we'll be ready in time for the boss. It is so that no one will cry, who we can definitely hit with some strong stuff. Especially our skill too, since that is a Wrath Blunt attack. And that is exactly what so that no one cries weak to. But for this fight, we're just going to focus on being relatively normal. No need to just get your sanity up a little bit so that you don't corrode when you spam your ego a little bit next fight. Or next fight, 2 fights in... I don't know, I didn't see exactly how many fights I was planning on taking this for, you know what I mean. The fight in which we're going to stack surgery in preparation for, Oh, you gain Clash Power because you're below half HP thanks to Ishmael, that's nice. Yeah, I'm distracting myself. But you get what I'm saying, right? Fight before boss, we stack up surgery so that we get him down to 20% HP, so he's below 25%. And then in time for the actual... We're doing a resource. Pretty good, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Then for the boss, we'll be below 20% HP, so we'll go for like another corroded screw loose wall up, so we can get 2 surgery on top of triggering final augment, so that Murtho can do a lot of damage. And you know, that sounds good, I think. I believe. Rip space here, just for the sake of the envy above all else, but you know, the kill, that's funny. Ready to give everyone a little bit of offense and defense level up this turn, thanks to getting the envy resonance with, or the envy absolute resonance with the, Dreaming Electric Sheet. So that's nice. You die. Nice. That killing is also very nice, that's for sure. We love to see it. I'm not taking homeward. That'll ruin the plan. I'm glad I caught myself in time, because a lot of the times I would not catch myself in time. Contract, yeah, we need fights to not last too long. Was that too? That'll work. Anything else that's synergized specifically with Murtho? Not really. Kind of looking to see if I can get a Murtho skill change. Oh, the plushie. I did turn that down once, but it's a good enough choice. And we'll hold on to stuff, because I do realize I forgot to upgrade Wound Declared, so maybe I'll remember that here. Avert Eyes, grab Perversion. Murtho's got this. And it is surgery stacking time. Get your HP nice and low. 2 corroded. We don't have the coin, right? I need to make sure about that. Although if we did have the coin, that'd be really good, because we just need a single... We'd have to use a single corroded through this wall. If it would go twice, we'd gain 4 surgery next turn. Actually, not a bad idea to try and roll for the coin or something in the next shop. For maximum surgery gaming, because then we could get 4 surgery in a single turn. Ugh, that's a scary HP value. We're not gonna get hit one-sidedly or anything though, right? Right. Yeah, everything's being flashed. That's good to see. I was uncertain. Screwless Wallop is also unique, as it's one of the 2 corrosions, I believe it's only 2, that even when corroded in, you get to target who you're going for normally. The other one being Dawn Telepole, I'm very certain. I don't understand why it's like that for Dawn Telepole, but for, you know, this Murtho, it makes a lot of sense. That's what it looks like on heads. I thought it looked cooler, huh? I think I gaslit myself into thinking that ego's effects looked a little cooler than they did when you got heads. That's wacky. What a wacky thing to gaslight myself into believing. Yeah, you can see it there, what I was just talking about. Like, for like, something like Pursuance, Corrosion, Indiscriminate targets randomly. Not here, though. No indiscriminate. And do I even have Dawn Telepole? I do, so I can show that as well, I believe. Yeah, no indiscriminate. Only 2 egos to do that. I'm fairly certain. Unless I'm forgetting one. Which I might be, but, like, I don't know. Either way, we get our HP nice and low here. On Murtho. Low on Murtho. And we should be able to get more stuff going. I'm actually starting to like the combo of Screw Swap a lot more than I actually started. I genuinely don't know if I've ever triggered Final Augment before this run. Did I ever even focus on Screw This Wallop? Like, have I not done a video on it? I don't know if I have. Strangely enough. Oh well, that's 4 surgery. So you're going to be down to low HP. And we did see that it does trigger the HP down even if the fight ends before the next turn technically starts. So you'll be down to like your 47 HP, something like that. Which will be perfect. Yeah, 42. We get this to ++, because wound cleared good. Should have done the previous floor, but I was kind of on autopilot then, I assume. We'll grab the bones. No. All the crumbs. Sure thing, and it is so the note will cry time. Who is weak to blunt and wrath, so Merceau skill 2 gaming potentially. We will start out with one of these though. What do we clash against? Actually, let's do this smart. Like that, so we can hit both parts. Do a little bit of this. Sure, that'll work. Looks good to me. In the first turn, we're just clashing because we're setting up Merceau. Heal sanity, lose sanity. The pattern, the unending pattern, obstacles will be quelled. Glad to hear that, buddy. Glad to hear your love of the company is that great. And you do heal up a fair bit from that, like, alone thanks to the gray coat. Hopefully that doesn't ruin us? I guess I don't know. Also, that's a lot of damage on the arm. But I'm sure it's based on the HP on use of the ego, surely. You gotta be... You can get it. Did he actually heal up too much from Grey Coat to trigger it? Is it actually based on the HP after using... Okay. You know, everything good I said about this ego, I take it back. If it's used at less than 25% HP, which it was. Which it very clearly was. I don't know, I think the game might have something out for me right now, question mark? Wouldn't be that shocking. Well, we'll clash those, just hit this part a bunch. Actually, clash with our two slowest things so we can make the most of the bleed once we stack a bunch of bleed with these attacks. Like, your Cleanse of Sin, that'll be some bleed. I think that's actually the only bleed thing we're going for here, because our other two bleed people we actually had clash, huh? So my plan may have backfired a little bit. That's fine, we can still stack some bleed, hopefully in time? We'll see. Yeah, you run out of bleed count here, unfortunate. This is a lot of bleed though, so you know you're not going to run out of it in time for Visong's attack. And you know, maybe he'll get some crits. 25% crit chance with that poise. Oh, 1, 2, 3? He's at 7 crit. Oh, that just killed. Huh. I didn't even realize it was that low on HP. I guess it was thanks to the contract, but the contract hit the arm. Ooh, commemorative coin. We're taking that. Merceau is not going to have any HP by the time we're done with him. Let's see, how's this floor looking? Yeah, it's looking like a floor. All there is to say, I'll do something like that. I'll probably sell the gray coat now that I know that it is an anti-synergy. That I was not expecting, because it really sounded like it was based on the HP Merceau had when he used the skill. Unless something else healed him? I don't think so, right? I'm pretty sure like the gray coat was the only thing that healed him there. And if so, that is... Then it's kind of lying about how this works. And this text might be wrong and no one's, you know, used the passive enough to actually figure it out. If it's used at less than 25% HP, aka when you play the skill, presumably. Here we're being presumably. Very easy, you know, there's some sort of miscommunication somewhere along the line. But I mean, it's worded wrong based on how it's actually, like, programmed, but I don't know if that matters. I don't know. Yeah, God. They should just give, like, Merceau, like, a she ID or something. Like, give him, like, a super strong ID that has, like a low coin count. So they can actually benefit from through this wall of over, taking Regret. Because Regret's really good for those, like, multi-coin attacks. Like, those 4-coin attacks that are so frequently on Merceau's skill 3s. So give us an ID that's, like, the antithesis of that for, like, our strong Merceau ID. Because we're gonna get something really good offensively from Merceau sooner or later. Although there's a decent chance that if we do, it's going to be because of, Regret stacking super well with whatever its attacks are. And not to say the Merceau identities are, like, the worst thing altogether. None of them can really capitalize off of Regret or Screwless Wallop in most of their abilities, because they just don't have that high damage output in the first place. Like, sure, with Screwless Wallop, we can trade some Merceau's high HP amounts for damage. But how much better would that be if we use it for a Merceau ID that already had, like, a low HP now, you know? Like, sure, he'd be even, like, more likely to die from, like, random attacks here and there. But it could work. I don't know. Well, if nothing else, the Commander Coin should make sure that we're going to be guaranteed to trigger. Surely. I'm still gonna sell the Grey Code just because I do not trust it anymore, and I now know it is a devil. Have I not blessed you, 12? Yet one of you is a devil, something like that. No crit there, but you didn't need the crit to get because you didn't need the extra coins, so fair enough. And we got the Sloth Resins there, so we triggered Sunshower without even needing the mass attack. Well, it's surprising that, you know, they changed a bunch of random EO gifts and stuff, and they did not actually touch Sunshower at all. It really feels like it's just a little too powerful for how simple it is to trigger. You know, like, oh, use a mass attack and you gain even more of a benefit than you already do by using a mass attack. In the final fight, I'm pretty sure we still... The fight after this one will be the fight where we make sure you get the Force Surgery, get your HP nice and low. I think this Wallop is also one of those egos where I've heard people argue against its Thread Spin 5 actually being, like, detrimental. Because... Thread Spin 4 being detrimental. Or is it Thread Spin 3? It might be Thread Spin 3. I don't remember. Yeah, Thread Spin 3 isn't... I think it's Thread Spin 3. It's like a tongue twister, it's getting me. Thread Spin 3, I'm pretty sure that's when it gains Surgery on the Awakening. Otherwise, it has Surgery on the Corrosion, but none on the Awakening. And I feel like I've heard people argue that that's, like, not good, but, I mean, it makes enough sense. If you want a spammable ego, you should probably just be using Pursuance anyways, but, it's definitely not a very spammable ego compared to a lot of others. And that's by design. You're supposed to use it as, like, a buffer. Or as, like, a buffing ego, I should say. Buffer kind of can have multiple connotations to it. But I think that's cool too. I want more egos that are more focused on buffing instead of actually dealing damage. Because so far the strongest egos in the game provide a lot of buffs and a lot of damage. AKA look at like Sunshower, Blind Obsession. Anyways, here we go. Final normal fight of the run. So we're going to use our Screwless Wallop, make sure coin hits Merceau, so no one else can go for single coin attacks this turn. So you need to just counter. Get that Envy Resonance, sure. We can actually go full with Envy Resonance almost here if we just use Teleport or something. Although that would not be a good idea. Since then we would not be able to double and screw this wall up. But this way, yeah, this should be the first attack that has a single coin because counters don't count. That should be good. Yeah, hopefully, you're not mass attacking. You are. You should win that pretty easily, though. Just trying to make sure that Merceau doesn't take a random hit and get staggered out of nowhere, because, you know, knowing this game wouldn't have shocked me. Tails, interesting. Be like that. Little bit of a walloping. And you're healing up a bunch because it's an AoE because of the Grey Coat, but that's fine because you're going to lose a bunch of max HP next turn. And I will sell the Grey Coat to the shop. Trade it away for goods. I don't know. I really did just, like, trick myself into thinking that the animation was, like, the effects were cooler there. That's odd. Okay, you got 32 HP now. Love to see it. You better not lose a clash and blow up horribly. Although it would be funny if that happened. Yeah, you heal up all you want, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. Oh no, he's gonna be at his full 40 HP for next fight. He's not even. He barely healed up there. He only healed up from Clash winning thanks to Gregor passive. That's the only source of healing he was getting there, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken. Hopefully we don't get an event that heals us too, because that would be unfortunate. Or an event that damages everyone. Like, 37 HP, I'm pretty sure that's low enough HP that, like, a failed check on, like, the Heavenly Commander's throne would just kill him straight up. Oh, I might be wrong. Yeah, sell Grey Coat. Don't think we've got anything else that'll get in our way, hopefully. What do we want, though? What do we want? Probably Mercer skills, if anything. Don't know if there's anything else I'm particularly looking for here, so I might just roll for that. Although it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that. Charge-type gloves does not help us. Oh well, that's fine. Literally nothing from that shop. Well, we sold our Eagle gift, and that's what matters the most. Oh, this is scary. I'm not risking it. We might have someone who can do it, but I don't want to risk it. Actually, I think... Yeah, you could have just done it, couldn't you? Well, that's unfortunate. We sure did he get healed by that option, and you are still under a quarter though, but like any source of random healing might put you too high or something because you know the game's like that sometimes. And it's KQE time. Okay. So we don't need you not clash so you don't trigger the Gregor passive. Easy enough. Get some random envy attacks in for the envy resonance. And make sure they're not single coins. Excellent. Wash for a bunch of slats for build next turn. Could be good. And then you might have trouble here, but like you're PHE, you're not gonna die or anything. Okay, this looks good. I do not think I'm missing anything. Hopefully. So we screw loop wall once. The passive should trigger here, and we should actually just get 2 surgery from that, and then this should give us another 2 surgery, bring us to 4 surgery. If we use Screw the Walls any more times this fight, Merso should just instantly blow up next turn, which isn't exactly what we want, so you know. We're not going to use it anymore, although maybe we will. If it would be funny, it might be beneficial. That's also something to keep in mind. The comedy factor. Also, it was a fair bit of bleed, that's nice. He's run out of bleed now and he's almost staggered. Swash probably will just straight up stagger him. With that defense level down especially. Yeah, a little bit of damage into the contract. Okay, so yeah, okay, so he's got he's got 11 HP, he's got final augment, 4 surgery, so he's dealing 80% more damage, he's got 3 attack power up. Well, if you go for Pursuance then, because you can double up on it, yeah? You might corrode, you might kill your allies, but I think that would be pretty fitting. That's your highest damaging capability right now. I was considering going for another Screw Loose Wallop, but the KQE resists Envy, so it wouldn't do the most. Yeah, we're hitting some allies here. That's fine. This was within my predicted realm of possibilities, so, you know, I'm down for it. But look at that damage. That's nice. Unfortunately, that means you don't get to trigger the coin and attack again, but that's fine. Merso is also definitely not going to be the target for the grab in this fight because, sanity. Or because he's at 11 HP. Okay, you've got 2 more turns to live, buddy. You should probably just not ego, though. I think you should go for a Your Cleanse of Sin, potentially. Which one does more, actually? What are your resistances like? You endure Wrath and you're weak to... Or not you're weak, but you're neutral to Pierce. Or neutral... I am saying all the wrong things. Pride. So let's see how much damage you can do with the skill 3. You also heal up a little bit of HP, get to a nice 40, most likely. You got a Tails, okay. I mean, you got 2 Tails, that makes a lot of sense if Sandy's not doing great. But you only have 1 more turn to live, so hopefully you can get something good off, and hopefully we do not just kill with our other IDs right in the way. Okay, we don't. Actually, that bleed will just kill him next turn, though. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, I think we gotta kill you with style, though. Go for a normal screw this wall up here. Dominating, we win the clash. And we should be able to kill you with that, because it'll go twice. And our Sandy should be fine. Why are you going for the one-sided first? Why aren't we starting with the... Okay. I don't know. Here we go. This will do a lot of damage. And it'll make it so you get the 5 Surgery next turn. You'd be dead next turn anyways, but this will be cinematic. 134 damage, which is enough to kill. And down Merso goes, alongside the boss. What a funny ego. You know, the 80% increased damage really did not feel like it did nearly as much as it should have. I think that's a Merso issue, though, just in general. That's fine. Good stuff, good stuff. Imagine how good that would be once you inevitably gets like a 7-target VOB ego. That is true. 80% more damage on something like that is like a threat. And you were the superstar, Merso. Even if, I now have this may be the beginning of a long-standing grudge against the Grey Coat. Truly a fearsome foe. See, give me my module. Give me my 9 boxes. How are we looking? 350? That's decent. Should be enough to get anything in tomorrow's update. Yeah. Extraction time. Last extraction we'll be able to do on the wall purchase banner. If I am smart and remember, I will do one more, like, after the weekly reset, but no promises, and even if so, I'm not really looking for much of anything. Ooh, Yisung 2-star? Yisung 2-star, nice. But yeah, probably find a wall purchase pull. And it's a 1-star. Finish things off with a base Yisung. You know, that's fitting. Well, yeah, I think I've got a newfound understanding to Screw Loose Wallop. I understand how it works. It's a little unfortunate that it does put Merso at, 11 HP when played properly. But it's really funny. And I could definitely see there being a lot of potential. I'm not, I'm going to keep on hating on this ego to, like, a degree, but of a degree of respect, and it also is one of the coolest looking egos, that's for sure. You can't deny that. And of course, it fits well in the stories section. But yeah, tomorrow we're getting new DH IDs, join back in then, and we will be doing Mirror Dungeon 3 hard with those new IDs. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!